So it's Thursday, the 28th of May, and we're watching the open for the Euro stocks. After a few heavy fuck-ups, I finally have a trade that I am pretty proud of, because it has a decent entry with small exposure. It means that more than 30 ticks and I'm wrong, and it has a decent reward because the point of control where the price is most likely to be headed, it's pretty far away. So the context of the trade and the reason for the trade is we've been ranging really in a, where is it, 67.49 in a 20-point range. True, we've put in a new low and we haven't quite reached the high of the day, but there has been some flip-flopping and all the momentum trades went absolutely nowhere. Actually, momentum trades were better faded in this context because they ended up going exactly the other way. So we had a new probe of the lows. It slowly went down. It made a new low by a tick, and then it developed this area here at 51, 52, where a lot of contracts were sold and not much headway was made. So although we put in a new tick at 50.49, everything really stopped at 51. So I was lucky enough to get a fill at 51, and from them it's just gone up. It hasn't ticked against me once. So hopefully we'll revert back to the point of control. Maybe we'll exceed it by a little bit. Looking how things are going, it's possible that it's either gonna probe at the highs since we've broke down at the bottom, or it's just gonna range some more in this area here between 59, 60, which was an area where a lot of contracts were exchanged. Book-wise, I haven't even looked at the book because there's been a couple of instances where there was just spoofing or thousands of contracts being moved from one position to the other. So I don't particularly rely on that for the moment. As strength goes, we see there's been more contracts, of course, bought than sold. This has been reset as soon as I entered. Now we've gone only higher. There's a bit of a pullback here. Let's see what's happening. Not many contracts are being exchanged. Okay, now that we're clear on why this has happened, I'm going to reset the count. And it looks like we're stopping at 55, but there's no contracts exchanged. You see the book flipping mad, all the lights flickering, but really little contracts in the double digits. See how quickly the offer pulled and now stacked. So you really can't rely on any of that at all. We'll wait for us to get a fill and then I'll stop the recording. And possibly I'm going to try and show where the move ended, just out of curiosity really. But yeah, I was talking about how these things were counterproductive. So you have this big spike in contracts at 9/11, right? 300, or is more than 1,200 contracts exchanged at the tick, and all it did is, when we're at 59, all it did is it took it higher to, there we go, a little more here, 62, 3 ticks, brute force, show brute force, and then it just collapsed down. Same thing here. A lot of contracts is 18, took it up 2 ticks, show of force, everyone thinking, okay, momentum has shifted, we're gonna go higher. They're holding this level, they're holding 56, and nada, it just goes lower. Okay, pinging and ponging, well, it looks like it's holding its range in between 55 and 59. Not worried about not getting a feel, because, okay, well, we've exchanged 700 contracts here, but we're far from an iceberg. Also, we poked through, we went to 58, exchanged 300 contracts, we're again at 58. But another 50 at 58 to show the level goes up. I'm 88 in Q. I've put this limit order as soon as I was in. I moved it immediately up to the point of control because I find this is an area where it's easier to take profits. I'm taking a beating today, so I'm gonna get every penny that I can. Equally so, if I see that this shifts heavily, I might get out. So the book has somehow flipped. Now we're heavy onto the offer, and you've seen some contracts here at 5600 contracts. Try to push it down, developing a bit of a step here. 9,000 contracts, again 4,000. This should ideally hold. And the point of control has shifted. We're fattening the curve right here. So this is taking longer than I expected to get a feel. I'm still not incredibly worried because the volume, the kind of contracts that we've exchanged here, it's still par, still ranging. And the book flips again. You have 500 contracts here. They're holding 55. They're refreshing it. See, no contracts sold at 54 basically. If we get another bump here and it doesn't go to 59, I might look into taking profits earlier. But this is definitely not an area where I would initiate a trade. I mean, I'm getting out because I want my money, not because I think that it's gonna go necessarily lower. In fact, there is a very little important selling. They're taking a break. Yeah, 56 refreshing, goes back up to 58. Alright, okay, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna try and get out at 57 because we've exchanged 1,000 contracts. Almost nothing, well, very little exchanged at 58 and nothing at all at 59. Getting out 2 ticks early. This is a range, could break up higher, could break up lower, and eat my profits. Two ticks is not the end of the world. Kind of a pity, because it did get there, and I'm only 12, thank you. So in a way I can say that I was right. Serves me well, and I'll have to play conservative next time. Maybe put it 1 tick lower than volume partner control. Had I done that, I would have had a fill right here, 58.
Order filled.
Instead, I lose 1 tick. Alright, well, hope this has helped someone. Certainly helped me. Regain a little bit of confidence after a disaster here where I averaged lower, thinking it would continuate higher, and it was actually stuck in a 10-point range. So that was me not thinking clearly. So yeah, hope you liked it.